clients of Walker Gates Vela. I am Jennifer Walker Gates, immigration attorney, and I'm here today to talk about what to do if you get an error message when checking your USCIS online case status. This is really important for anyone who has a pending case with USCIS because online case status is one of the ways that you should be able to understand more or less like what is happening with your case. And to be honest, the online case status tool is sometimes not a great tool, but in many cases it is. And so it can be really frustrating and worrisome if you are getting an error message when you try to check your online case status. So I'm going to talk a little bit today about some tips and tricks that we have learned at Walker Gates Vela to assist our clients in this situation to get things fixed, get an accurate case status on your case, and continue to move forward. Before I get into today's topic, please take a moment and hit subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are publishing videos on a weekly basis to make sure that every deserving immigrant in the United States has the benefit of legal immigration status and good information to get through the immigration process. If you're going to be successful in your immigration case, you need trustworthy and reliable information, and there is a lot of crazy information out there. So please hit subscribe so that you're getting our weekly updates. Let's say you're checking your USCIS case status and you're getting an error message. Either it says receipt number couldn't be found, or it just says error and has some, weird code or something like that. You need to know that certain cases, because of very strict rules around confidentiality and protection of privacy, some cases do not update online. Some cases, update online case status will not be provided. Those include U visas, T visas, VAWA, Violence Against Women Act cases, and asylum cases. There could be potentially certain humanitarian parole cases where the individual could be in danger if anyone were able to hack into the system and find information about a particular type of case for them. Those cases will not have an online case status. Those cases always produce an error message when you check the receipt numbers. It's very frustrating for a lot of those clients because those are some of the cases that take the longest to adjudicate. And so getting some idea of what is happening can be extremely frustrating for those individuals. For U visas and T visas, what we have found is that many times, and same for asylum for that matter, after a certain period of time, anytime you file a case and then you have a corresponding case type, for example, you file a U visa and you also file a corresponding waiver of inadmissibility on Form I-192, or you file a T visa and you file a corresponding waiver of inadmissibility on I-192, or a corresponding Form I-765 for a work permit, or you file an asylum case and a corresponding I-765 for a work permit, or you file a VAWA petition, and then you also have submitted a Form I-485 for your resident status. The corresponding form should give you an online case status. And most of the time when those forms are filed, they are received in at the same time as the underlying principal case. And so you can kind of get a sense of what is happening with the overall case by checking the case status on those corresponding receipt numbers. So that is how we handle those. Now, if you don't have a humanitarian-based case that involves really heightened privacy concerns, like a U visa, T visa, asylum, or VAWA case, if you have, for example, a work permit pending under DACA, or you have a DACA application in I-821D itself, or a TPS I-821, or an application for advanced parole, or an application for residency, and you're getting an error message on those kinds of cases, that is a real concern. That could be because USCIS made a typo when they were entering your receipt number into their system. It could be because you made a typo when you're entering the receipt number. Obviously, please check the receipt number on the upper left-hand corner of your receipt notice. It will have 3 letters at the beginning and then be followed by a 10-digit number. That receipt number is really important to get correct in order to get the correct case status online. It is unique. They assign a unique one to every single one of the millions of cases that are filed every year. So it's important to make sure that you're entering that correctly. If you know that you have checked and double checked and entered the receipt number multiple times and it's still producing an error message and you don't have any kind of corollary or corresponding application that you can use to help check the status of the case, then we recommend submitting an e-inquiry through the USCIS website through your particular USCIS online account is the best way to do it. If you don't have a USCIS online account, you can submit an e-inquiry through their general website. However, it is not going to be as immediate a response or necessarily as individualized a response as it would be submitting it through your own personal online account. We definitely recommend an online USCIS account for individuals if you're able to create one. If you're not able to create an online account and you still need to get information, then you're stuck with calling the 1-800 number. And in our experience, calling the 1-800 number is extremely frustrating. They change the online, the automatic menu every single month or something. It could be changed by the time this video is published. What we have found as a kind of a routine help with respect to calling the 1-800 number in order to get a human being on the phone and actually ask a question about the case and what is happening with the case status and why there is an error message coming up is if you say info pass when you call. So when you get into that automated system, it will ask for your receipt number. It will ask for an A number. You can, of course, give those verbally. And then when it asks you to start selecting options for what to do in the automated system, we always recommend selecting the options for info pass, reporting a problem with the case, and then info pass, and just say info pass. And ideally, an agent will get on the phone with you. If an agent gets on the phone with you, you can explain that when you enter the online, when you enter the receipt number for the online status, it's producing an error message. And then at least you will have some kind of record created that will show that you have made this inquiry. I cannot guarantee this will resolve the problem. A lot of times USCIS, they're dealing with literally millions of pieces of data every single day, and human beings are involved. Mistakes will be made. It is inevitable. However, as long as each person is practicing due diligence with respect to their case, ideally, you will at least have a record that you have made every effort to follow up on the case. And if something happens where there's a deadline missed or something like that, then you will have a record, a document showing that you submitted an inquiry on behalf of the case. And, if there was an error message coming up or USCIS wasn't corresponding with you properly, that will be on them. So I hope this has helped. I know that dealing with USCIS is frustrating at best. They are dealing with a lot of challenges financially and organizationally, and not dealing with them, frankly, very well in many cases. So for those of us who have to try to get people through the system to get the legal status that they're entitled to, it can be extremely frustrating. So if we can help at Walker Gates Vella, we definitely want to do that. Please reach out to us. You can find us on the web at walkergatesvella.com. There you can click to schedule an appointment with me or any of the attorneys in our office. We will be glad to help submit an inquiry on your behalf. In certain cases where we haven't been able to make progress through the normal channels that they provide people to get information and get status and understand what is happening with the case and move the cases forward. We are able to talk to their lawyers about lawsuits. And when we start doing that, typically that lights a fire under somebody. So for those of you who may be really, really stuck and need that kind of help, we are able and happy to provide that. Please reach out to us, walkergatesvela.com. You can also call our main line. Our number is right there on our website. It's 512-633-1785. We represent clients across the United States and around the world. Because immigration law is federal, our Texas law licenses enable us to represent clients everywhere. So please reach out to us if we can be of assistance to you. In the meantime, please stay safe and well, be very careful out there, and I will see you again next week. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.